following thoughts, opinions, stories, and expressions are meant for those who will appreciate them. If you don't, we hope you keep an open soul to encounter another here on 34 Questions. Peace. In 3, 2, 1. What's going on, folks? Welcome to 34 Questions. I'm your host, 34. And tonight, I have a very special guest. Ozer is in the building. How you doing tonight, sir?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Hey, did I pronounce that right? I didn't even get to ask you right before we turned on.
No, you good. I think that's the first time somebody has actually pronounced it correctly on the first try. So,
Damn. All right, for sure. But yeah, man, thank you for making time for this. I know time is precious, and also being open to share your story. I know it's not easy for everyone, so thank you again.
Of course.
For the folks out there who are unfamiliar with the flow of the show, we do some intro questions, some warm-up questions just to set the tone. We'll jump into some segments. They might be called, I could call them games, but I don't know if it's fun for everybody just yet. But then after that, we'll jump into the main portion where we spin the wheel of fate and answer some hard-hitting questions. Sound good to you, Ozer?
Let's get it.
All right, man. Well, my very first question for you in the warm-up is, how have you been? You've been doing great. You've been doing good. How you been lately, man?
Good. Busy. We won on a really high note, and the momentum is really followed into 22. So it's a good problem to have, trying to balance a lot more things, but doing good for the most part. Been working on new music, really excited about the new music I got coming out. Shooting a lot of videos. We just got done with the Real Love shoot on Saturday night. It was like a 6-7 hour shoot. You feel me? So busy as hell, but good for the most part, bro. So I'm ready.
For sure. I mean, busy is good, man. I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of time being complacent and just chilling for a long ass time. So now I kind of realized that I got to fill my life up with stuff I got to do, just so I could keep progressing, keep improving, give something back.
No, that's real talk, man. I was just in that same predicament. I was feeling like I was being complacent, and I seen a quote that said that if you want to see different results, if you do the same shit, you're gonna see the same results. And I felt like I fit that mold, so I'm like, all right, let me change it up and really dive head first into music. Now, I think I've been doing as much as I can, but now it's really time to really even exceed what I know, even exceed the limits that I thought I've already reached. You feel me? So, I definitely get where you're coming from with it.
Yeah, man. The quote you mentioned is similar to one of my favorites, which is to get what you never had, you got to do what you've never done. So you talked about your music. How long you been doing that for?
So let's see. I started doing music seriously back in, let me see. I released my first song in 2014, I think. 2014, 2015. And I really just started taking off within like the last 3-4 years. So I've been doing it for 7-8 years. Truthfully. Sure. I've been writing since I was 6.
Since you were 6?
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell I was writing though. Like I ain't, I wasn't like a protege or anything like that. But I had the idea to put words to paper and try to structure a song. I knew like the basic layout of a song. I was just saying like the world is hot, the world is cold. Something like that.
Man. I got you for sure. My first dream was to be a rapper, and
wow.
When I was 12 years old, that's when it started for me. And like I'll be real with you, man. Like I never, I said it was my dream, but I don't think I ever put the work into it to like get on that path, right? Until like 10 years after, after college, I started to be like, all right, let me take the money I make from my day job, put it into the studio, and really try to come out with stuff. I tried doing that, but I I'm not good at promoting myself, man. You know, I don't know. I don't hear it in your music as far as the songs that I've heard, but you know how for a lot of rappers, it's like you got to promote yourself. You got to tell people that you're better or you're doing something unique. And I was never that person to be like, oh, listen to me, you know, because of this X, Y, and Z. I was really just trying to express myself. You feel me? So it never picked up, to be honest. I had to move on with my life. But yeah, I feel you, man.
Now, do you still sort of get the urge to make music here and there?
Oh man, I definitely like Saturday mornings is usually my time to like listen to a beat on YouTube and just trying to, I guess I express what I went through that week or like however I'm feeling in that moment. Because I still need that outlet, you know.
Of course.
It's just that now I don't feel like the path that I'm going on is gonna take me, you know, in that music route. Feel me? So, but yeah, no doubt. I think, you know, for anybody who's a writer or anybody that like likes to turn to poetry, to express themselves, you're always gonna have it in you. Unlike, you know, I'm sure if you just drive it in your car, a flow is just gonna pop in your head, and you're gonna be like, you know, that just comes naturally. So, yeah.
No, real talk. Nah, that's real. I think for myself personally, I actually had to push myself to promote myself more. You feel me? Because I think we as creatives tend to forget the business side of, you know, the music game, right? And I think it could be hard sometimes. So you got to make yourself. You're already being vulnerable when you put your emotions on the track, but then you gotta push it towards the masses, and then when you do that, sometimes you feel as if you're forcing it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it can feel unnatural. You feel me? And I had to really tell myself that if I wanted to make it, I would really have to do that and put the money into the marketing and making sure that regardless of how I may feel, that people heard my music somehow, some way. Because the thing is, a song might be owed to me or you, right? But it's still 10 other people that hasn't heard it. You feel me? And so that's the mindset I had to get in, you know. But it's hard. It's a hard mindset to get into, though.
No, for sure. I was gonna ask you, for you, like, when did that switch kind of turn on for you, where you were like, now this is, you know, I want to take this to the next level, and it feels like that I'm taking it to the next level.
Yeah. Shit, man. I've always wanted to get big. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I've never wanted to just do it for. I mean, I love music. Like, I love art. Like, it's an outlet for me. But I've always wanted to do it as a career. I've seen what could come of it. You know, doing tours and just having fun with it. You know, you only get one life to live, and so I always thought it would be dope to be able to do music and do something I love and make money off of it. You feel me? And take care of the people around me. I think up until the last couple of years, after I dropped Blow My High, I think or even Polo Fendi, I think that's when I really started to see, or really started to tell myself, like, all right, damn, I could really do this. Like, this could really take off. You know, people really keeping tabs on me and waiting on music. You feel me? And it's a weird feeling. You feel me? Because it's a lot of these songs you just start. You know, it's been so many songs I've just started writing in my car, in the shower, wherever it may be. And you put it out, and you don't realize how many people it touches and how many people can relate to it. And it's a really crazy feeling. You know, I've gotten crazy messages from people saying, "Hey, your music did XYZ for me," and it sometimes it's hard to soak it in, because to me, I'm just a regular dude, but to others, you're the fucking star, right? But yeah, I think really within the last couple of years is when I started to see that I could really do something with it, and when I really told myself, like, all right, let's go harder with it and see what could happen.
I got you. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad you got your momentum coming into this new year, because everybody knows it's been hard as hell to build any kind of momentum the past couple of years. For you, were you able to take advantage of, you know, not take advantage of a terrible time, but, you know, I think how it's trying to change everyone's lifestyle, but were you able to add anything to help you with music?
Boy, say that one more time. My bad. I think you cut off a little bit.
You good? So past couple years, I think it's hard. It was hard to gain momentum for anyone, but for you, were you able to kind of like take advantage of how the world was changing or shifting to help you with your music?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, I dropped Polo Fendi actually 2 months into the pandemic. So I dropped it, I think the top of May, not top of May, actually the end of May. So like May 30th, May 31st, something like that. And to promote it, we used a live stream. And I never really utilized the live stream feature on Instagram like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to see the benefits in. But yeah, we live streamed. We had a live Q&A with the fans, and we let them listen to the song, and it helped build a lot of momentum going into the actual release date, right? Which helped a lot. And then outside of that, just me being able to sit with myself and really sit with my thoughts allowed me to write more music, and it really allowed me to really sort of reach a point within my songwriting that I hadn't reached before, for me, at least on a deeper level, So that's how the pandemic. So I think for a lot of people, the pandemic was sort of a hassle, but I think for me personally, it helped me a lot because it allowed me to slow down and really hone in on my phone ringing.
You good?
And really on what I could do as an artist and really hone in on my writing abilities.
For sure. Moving on to the second question in the warm-up. Aside from being a music artist, what would you like the audience out there to know about you?
I like to cook.
You like to cook?
I like to cook, man. I like to cook. Actually, my girl downstairs cooking right now. She wanted me to cook, and I said, "No, I got an interview to do." But I love to cook. I used to want to be a chef as a kid. That was actually one of my dreams. I think that came after music, because as a kid, I used to always get teased for making music. I used to write in my notebook. My cousin used to find the notebook, make fun of me. I'm like, all right, maybe I don't have a future in rap. So I was like, let me just cook, And I was sort of big back in the day too, so I love food. I'll never forget this story. I went to a Mexican restaurant, and at the time my mom was dating this firefighter, and so we was at the firehouse, and then I went next door to get some Mexican food, and I ordered 2 super tacos, but I got everything that would normally come on a burrito on the tacos, and so like you couldn't even fold the tacos, and so the dude was like, "Is it a burrito or is it the taco?" I'm like, "Nah, it's a taco." He's like, "Oh, I'm just making sure because it's a lot." And so yeah, I used to be greedy as hell, man. So cooking is a huge passion of mine. Even if eventually, even when I become even more successful with the music, I want to open a restaurant and hone in on that. My best friend is a chef, so I actually invest into his business, Fatty Natties. So that's how I sort of still keep that dream alive for right now.
It's called Fatty Natties?
Fatty Natties, yeah. He been doing different things. When we first started, we were doing ribeye steaks with scalloped potatoes and asparagus. That sold out, and then we started doing burgers. That sold out, and then recently he did New Mexico style enchiladas, and that sold out, and people just be going crazy over the food, man. So
you guys switch up the menu like once like that season ends, basically?
Yeah, so I mean, for the longest we were doing ribeyes and potatoes, but then we just got bored with it, so he's like, let's change it up. And so he'll sometimes he'll just see a random dish online. All right, but I want to make this. I'm gonna do it for Fatty Natties, just do it, and it'll just sell out. So that's how it be. So the meals can be sort of spontaneous. He tends to sell the food whenever he has free time. It's not a set schedule or anything like that. I'll be telling them to do it on a consistent basis, but he works too, so he just be busy as hell, man. But when he does it though, it sells out. It's a lot of love.
You guys have a shop, or is it, you know, through ordering only, or?
This is straight order, man. Out the crib, man. Out the crib.
I got you.
Give me Fatty Natty. I think it may just be Fatty Natty or Fatty Natty SF, but he and my followers though. I actually just tagged him in my most recent post. So
all right. I'll hit him up. What would you say is the biggest misconception about you?
Thank you for asking this question.
Sure.
I think a lot of people think I'm like a upset person or like a hella serious person. I think I just look mad half the time. That's just my face. I get it from my mom. But I'm a really goofy person, man. I'm a down to earth person, very social, very humble. You ask anybody, like I'm very kind, very giving. You feel me? Protective over those I love, but for the most part, really cool person, really goofy when I'm comfortable around you.
For sure, man. For sure. Thank you for sharing.
No, that's good.
My next question for you is, if I were to do something in your honor, a way to express the energy you possess, what could I do?
To give back.
Give back?
To give back and share, like sharing, like giving back to people or like giving game to people. I actually want to get into doing more like homeless feeds. I did it once in 2020 with Uncle Dan. He does something called City Eats, and so we went through the TLs and passed out food. And doing that really opened my eyes, man. Just, you know, sometimes you go through life on a day-to-day basis. You don't really see how fortunate you are to have a lot of the things that you do. And we came across a family. I think it was a single father with like 3 kids in the TLs, and we, you know, gave them food. It just opened my eyes. You feel me? Made me even more humble than I already am. You know, but I would just love to give back, and I love to give back. So if somebody wanted to honor me and my name, just give back. That's all I ask for.
Now we know, man. How would you like to be remembered?
What Nip say? I want to go down as a great. That's what he said, right? With Kirko. I want to be remembered as somebody that hustled, somebody that went for what he wanted, somebody that didn't care about the obstacles in his way, the underdog that beat all odds. You feel me? I think that's. I don't care about the money's nice. That's cool, right? But I want to go down as somebody that people. I want to go down as somebody that people knew to be talented and worked hard to get to where he was at with no handouts.
Sure, man. I think a lot of us can relate to that. I mean, same here, man. I don't think I ain't got nothing. I ain't coming from nowhere. So, you know, for me to just try to attempt this stuff, same reason, man. I want people to know that I was trying, and no matter what, I kept trying. You feel me? Because a lot of people don't. I think I don't know in your experience, but sometimes the people I've worked with or been around, you know, you could kind of feel life has been beating them down. And, you know, at a certain point, the complacency is like, yo, I'd rather just stay here than even try and get disappointed or fail or, you know, look like you're not doing good in front of other people. And I think that's what gets in people's heads sometimes, you know?
Oh, hell yeah. Like the fear of failure is probably the thing that stops people the most. You know, I embrace failure though. You feel me? Like, if I fail, fuck it. You know, take it as a lesson and just bounce back. Use that lesson, use that knowledge to bounce back harder the next time. All right. You know, life is full of ups and downs. You know, you gotta embrace not only the ups but the downs too.
Sure. And my last question for you in the warm up, on a scale from on the scale from 1 to 10, how well do you know yourself?
How well do I know myself? I feel like I learn something new about myself every day, honestly. I think as I've grown as a person, I think every year I've found something new about myself, truthfully. You know, I think it just, well, first let me get the rating. I think I'll do like a 7. feel me? I'd be like a 7.
That's solid. That's solid.
Yeah, I think nobody truly knows themselves. You feel me? Like, there's just so many situations, so many different situations that life can throw at you. And a lot of us may not even been put in those situations. You feel me? So do we really know how we react in those situations? Right. So I feel like I don't really know myself. I don't really know myself as much as I would like to, to know myself. Right. But I think as I've grown into an adult, and every year I've grown older. I've come to change, in ways that I probably didn't. Last year I may have had one opinion or one view on the world, and now this year it changed. You feel me?
Yeah.
I think personally, like last year, I'll give a good example. I was really I've never really been into politics all like that, but I think all of us know, like, we wanted Trump out the office, right? Let's keep it a band, right? You feel me?
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing that shit, Biden may not even be any better. You feel me? So I'm just using that as an example to say things could change every day, every year, every month, every second. You feel me? So you might think you know yourself. You might think you know what you support and what you like, but that could change, very, very quickly. So.
For sure, man. Thank you for sharing that too. My general rule about it, for me at least, is when I'm at the highest of highs, I feel like I know myself the most. And then when I feel like I'm at my lowest, then I feel like I don't know myself at all. And those moments come in and out of your life, but pretty much it fluctuates.
All times.
All right, man. Well, we made it through the warm-up questions. We're gonna move on to some of these games. But the first one is agree or disagree. I got these statements that I haven't like fully fleshed out myself, but I just want to see what your thoughts on it are.
All right.
So this first one is people are ultimately good on the inside. What do you think?
Yeah, that's crazy. I was just talking to somebody about this like last week. That's crazy, bro. You and my I agree. I think most people are good on the inside, or at least they start off good on the inside, and then they see, and then the world gets to them, and they get fucked up. I think that's the best answer for it. I always, like I look at children, like for instance, you feel me? When a child comes into this world, they're pure, like they don't really know anything. They know love. You feel me? Like they're a kid, they're a child, they're smiling. But then as they grow older and as these new ideas get put into them and forced upon them, whether it be from society or their family, whoever it may be, they start to change. You feel me? And they start to build. They start to build views within them, right? It could be negative views or positive views, right? But ultimately that dictates what they'll do in life and how they'll do in life. You feel me? But ultimately they started off as a good person. So hopefully that made sense. But that's the best possible explanation I can give for that.
I got you. And I think I fully agree. Something about me, man, is I've had 17 jobs in like 12 years, bounced around, met a lot of people, and I wouldn't say people get evil or anything like that as they get older. I think they get sour though. They get really sour on life. So right now I found a job that I'm happy at, working at a high school, just because working with kids, man, it's like you said, like life hasn't gotten to them that far yet, so they still got that. Like I feel like they're all good kids, like even if they be knuckleheads sometimes, they're still good in the inside. So yeah.
Of course. Real talk.
Second statement is happiness is the most important thing.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Agree. Happiness is the most important thing. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the fame in the world, you can have jewelry, cars, all that. You feel me? But if you're not happy internally, you're never gonna be satisfied with with life. You're never gonna feel fulfilled. So I ultimately do feel happiness is the most important thing.
Sure, man. Yeah, that's what I try to. That's a message I try to let people know. As long as you ain't hurt nobody, I want you to be happy. You know, that's pretty much it.
That's all, man.
All right, man. Well, we made it to the next segment, which is word association. All right. So
All right.
I'm gonna throw up the countdown clock. We'll see. I think you do or not. So I'm just gonna say a word. You let me know the first thing that comes to mind. It doesn't have to be one word. It could be like a phrase or whatever just comes to mind.
Okay.
And we'll see how many you get in 34 seconds. Here we go.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1. Love.
Hey.
People.
Damn. Kind.
Pain.
Joy.
Regret.
Life.
Crazy.
Crazy. Everybody.
Happiness.
Mankind. Man, happiness. It could be a phrase, right?
Yeah, it could be a phrase.
Happiness hard to achieve.
Got you. You knocked out 6. I forgot to tell you what the record was before you, but the last person got 8, so you didn't get to push the limit yet, but it's all good.
Yeah, I'm close, man. I'm close.
Thank you for playing along, though. Appreciate it.
It's good.
So, on regret, you mentioned life. I wanted to ask a little bit why that came to mind, because for me, man, I feel like regret is one of those driving forces in me. You know, like I know it's not a positive thing, but I still use it as motivation to push forward. But yeah, why did life come to mind?
Life is full of regrets. Everybody has something to regret. I feel like it's people say you shouldn't regret anything in your life because things happen for a reason, but it's hard not to regret some things in your life. You know, sometimes you wish you would have talked to that person. You know, sometimes you wish you would have applied to that college. Sometimes you wish you would have applied for that job, or took that trip or moved somewhere else. You feel me? Like life is full of regrets, you know. And just like you said, it could be a motivating factor, right? Or it could be it could be something that makes you digress in life, right? But either way, you run into regrets as you move along through life.
Sure. Yeah, man. It can be a trap sometimes. That was the word that came to mind for me.
No, definitely.
All right, boss. We made it to the actual portion of 34 questions where we're gonna spin the wheel. So let me give it the spin, and just a heads up, if there's any question that pops up you don't want to answer, you could feel free to pass. There's a secondary option, so don't feel like you got to answer something you don't want to talk about. But here we go. First number is 14.
Okay.
Number 14 is, how could you be kinder to yourself?
Damn, you got some good questions, bro. Really good questions.
Right on, man.
Having faith in myself, having confidence. You go through life doing things to build yourself up, right? And to be this model figure for yourself and for society, right? And then you get to a point where you start questioning everything. You know, we talked about this earlier. You start questioning yourself. You start questioning your decisions. in everything you're doing, and you sort of lose confidence in yourself. And I'm speaking from personal experience. But I feel like when you lose confidence in yourself, and you feel like you can't do certain things that you know you're capable of, I feel like you're disrespecting yourself, and you sort of disregarding all the work that you put in through life, within life, to get to the point that you're at right now. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I say lost my train of thought. But yeah, just having more confidence. You feel me? I know I've had personal experiences with music where I've done an event, or I've I've done a show, or I've done a song, or just seen success with whatever it may be, and I question whether or not I should be there, and I had to really tell myself, like, bro, you worked for this shit, regardless what anybody else say, regardless what anybody else may feel, you worked for it. And to disregard everything that I did or I've done to get to this point is disrespectful to myself, because only I know how much work I really put into it, right? And so, I say just having more confidence and having more belief in yourself, or at least more confidence, belief in myself, is the way that I feel I could be kinder to myself.
For sure. Would you say there's a difference between confidence and self-esteem?
Is there a difference between confidence and self-esteem?
I bring it up because, like for me, I struggle with my self-esteem. I'll be real, but my confidence, I think my confidence, I have this irrational belief that no matter what I do, I think I'm gonna make it, or I got a chance to make it. That's why, for me, I think there's some kind of difference. It just came up as you were talking about it, but that's why I want to ask you if you feel like there could be a difference between those two.
For me, I almost feel like they're the same, honestly. Because I feel like when I know me personally, when I say I got low self-esteem, to me, I'm saying I have low confidence in myself, right? But it also comes, it comes and goes, But for me personally, I feel like they're the same. But as you get deeper into breaking them down, they could be different. But within my head, I think that they're pretty much the same thing.
Do you ever deal with getting in that loop of comparison sometimes? I'm pretty sure the rap industry is a very busy industry, man. So yeah, just like looking at your peers or looking at folks that maybe you don't feel like you're in competition with, but from a fan or from a person who's a consumer, of course, for them, like, that's what it is, right? We're choosing what music we're going to be listening to. So how do you handle that?
Man, yeah, I feel like that often. Comparison is, but they say comparison is the biggest thief of joy, right? So I try not to do that. But yeah, I think as a creative, especially with social media nowadays, it's just hard not to compare yourself and not to lose confidence sometimes, right? Because then you see what other people are doing. You like, damn, why am I not there yet? You feel me? I've been doing all this. I've been doing X, Y, Z, and I'm not there yet. And they, and some people only did, they probably did less than you, and they got there quicker. So yeah, I definitely look at that sometimes, like, damn, am I doing something wrong? Am I not going hard enough? But how I deal with that is just by reassuring myself that everybody has a different path in life, and everybody has a different journey. You feel me? So their road to success isn't going to be the same as my road to success, right? And I also try to embrace the journey, because it's going to make the goal, it's going to make it to when you actually reach the goal line, it's going to make it feel that much sweeter. You feel me? So that's how I embrace that. That's how I attempt to stop myself from comparing myself to others.
I feel you, man. We don't even intend to sometimes. I don't know if you look at your your data or your insights and shit, and like you see the numbers of how many people playing, how long they listening. Yeah, I don't want to pay attention, but goddamn, I'm forced to, to pursue
man.
this dream. You got to.
It's fucking hard, man. It's hard not to, because everything is data driven now. You feel me? Like, you make a song on Spotify, and you see, it's been times where, I know in the past, I put out a song if I got 100 streams in a week or something like that. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? Like, and then I look on YouTube and I look at somebody else's YouTube. I'm like, all right, what the fuck am I doing wrong? But it's hard. It's just hard not to, you feel me? Because the numbers is right there in front of you, right? And so sometimes I try to give myself a break from looking at my phone, because, we're glued to it all the time now. Everything is on your phone now, right? So sometimes I try to give myself a mental break just to make sure I don't go crazy looking at all these damn numbers, but it's hard to avoid, bro. It's really hard to avoid. Now, I know you had mentioned numbers not too long ago and looking at statistics and listening time. So do you have insight to all that? How do numbers affect your day to day and your mental?
Oh man, so I would say it's become a routine for me to click on the website just to see, did anyone press play today on my shit? I'll check. I'll see when subscribers go down and then come back up, and I'm just like, fuck, all right, what didn't they like, and to make them say oh, I'm enough of this, I'm moving on. But yeah, man, I think that's how it affects me. Is just, it makes me think of how I gotta just keep going harder, keep doing more, keep interviewing more folks. But because for me, I don't want it to be about the numbers. I'm cool. The biggest thing for me, we talked about happiness being the most important thing in life. What it comes down for me is balance. I've been trying to achieve this balance in my life to make sure that I can spend most of my time given to other people, but also having enough time for myself and my family and friends as well. So looking at the numbers, that's what I try to remind myself. It's okay, it's not about popping off for me. It's about making sure that I'm doing something good. So I don't need to worry about if I had 0 plays today, or no, somebody stopped following me or whatever. But yeah, I would say on the day to day, what's interesting is that if I feel like I'm doing good, I think I try to find more validation. So I'll see that, I got 70 plays one day, and I would have to tell someone just so they can be oh, that's a good thing. Just because, I just need that extra person to agree with me. So that's something I'm working on, trying to be a little more, I guess, silent in my moves. So it's not I'm always posting about it, always letting people know oh, this is who DM me or all that stuff. Definitely working on trying to not make it about me, I guess, because that's what it is. I think when I'm looking at those numbers, I get it wrapped up into my identity. This is the validation for the person who as I am, which isn't true. It's just really the content and what really how many people know about it too. I'm not great at promotion, so I know that not everybody knows that this is going on, but I believe one day, once I reach that tipping point where everyone's oh shit, this exists, then I think that's when, at least when I believe and have that confidence, that people will gravitate towards the podcast. But
for sure, that's a good answer.
Right on, man. I need to say these things too, so I appreciate you asking me that question. So before we go to the next spin, I want to ask you about being on stage. And do you feel how's your performing skills? You feel you're up there yet? You got stuff to work on? Where are you at so far?
I feel like I'm pretty good. But there's more shit I gotta work on. I just had a show in Vegas at Brooklyn Bowl. and the capacity is like 1,500. There's like 400 or 500 people there, but it's still a pretty big show. And it was my first solo show outside of California, and I couldn't bring anybody with me. I didn't have my DJ. All I had was just me and my manager. You feel me? So I was in Vegas for 2 days. Technically one, because we got there like close to midnight, and we was just in the hotel room rehearsing. And I was trying to figure out what I was gonna say to the crowd, how I was gonna get them involved, what songs I was gonna play, you know, the set order, everything. And from the turnout was really good. A lot of people came up to me personally, like, hey, like you did your thing. Like, I loved your performance. But in my head, I felt like I could even went harder. You feel me? My biggest thing is like getting the crowd involved, you know, sure that they're engaged, because it's so easy to lose somebody's focus, you know, especially if you're up and coming artist, they don't know your music like that. So I always try to find ways to get the crowd involved. And honestly, the toughest song I have an issue with, or not really an issue with, but the toughest song I have a hard time figuring out how to get the crowd involved with is Blow My Heart, which is my biggest song, right?
For real?
When they hear it, it's great, like they go crazy. But I'm trying to get to the point to where if I encounter a crowd that's never heard my music before, I'm trying to get them to the point to where they know the song, they know the lyrics by the time I get to the end of the song, so they can sing along with me. That's what I like to do. You feel me? So that's my task. I just got news of me getting booked for a big show next month. And so as soon as they told me, I was like, all right, I gotta figure this out. You feel me? I gotta make sure the crowd is, you know, is involved in this shit, you know. But to answer your question, the short answer is I think I'm pretty good, but I still nitpick it as small things. So still a few things I want to work on.
Yeah, man, no worries, man. I like the long answer. It's all good. Yeah, I think that was one thing I never really experienced as much when I was trying to pursue music. I only did a handful of shows, and at the time, I think I didn't treat it like, you know, I didn't have that mindset of getting the crowd involved. It was more so like, let me say my piece, and let's see if you rock with it. Which it ended up like, you know, me trying to do like spoken word type rap in a club, you feel me? And everyone's just like, you know, I like it, but this not the vibe, you know. We're not gonna vote you to go forward.
As you grow as an artist, you realize what songs to do and what songs not to do in certain settings, right? I think we as artists, like, we have certain songs that we personally love, and like, all right, everybody gonna love this regardless of the setting, right? But then you gotta like sort of sit back for a minute and be like, hold up. Do I really want to hear about your drinking problem in the middle of the club? You feel me? While I have a drink in my hand, and then you gonna make me feel like shit. You feel me? So I had to sit back and think about that for a minute, and it's actually made me change my setup a little bit. You know, we sold out Brick and Mortar back in October, and I was blessed to be in that situation. You feel me? I don't think they had a sold out show up until that point, at least that year. And shout out to Cali J, Afterthought, Zimma, Tui. You feel me? They was all in the lineup. You know, it was a team effort. But everybody loved my set, right? But I noticed for myself personally, I liked seeing people dance, right? When I did all the fun songs, that's when I seen the most emotion out of people. And that's what I like to see. You feel me? So that has sort of made me change my approach. So now when I do shows, I'll ask if they want to hear some deep shit or if they want to hear some fun shit. And then based on their answer, then that's, you know, that will decide where I go next. So that's how I try to do it.
I got you. Yeah, well, one thing I did pick up on, you know, going to more shows and just seeing how other people did it was save your your realest song at the very end, like you
Yeah.
said, ask the crowd if they want to hear it, because in that way they know you can get hyped, they know you can have fun, and then like you want to show them that other side, then you can too. So it's there's a thought process, and I wasn't thinking during my time, to be real. I was trying to go with the flow, learning lessons the hard way. So yeah.
It's good. Did you ever like research different artists' performances before you perform, or like was that anything you did?
Nah, man. See, like, so one thing about me too is I can be hella stubborn and hella think like, I can. The irrational confidence in me tells me like, oh, I can pull it off no matter what. And then, so I have to go through that process of failing, what's it called? Face first, and then I'll be like, oh, maybe I should have looked up some performances just to like get that mindset or get some influence on how I do things. But yeah, I don't know. For you, do you look up other people's performances, or you base it on anything?
Yeah, the time I consider myself a student in the game, so I try to study artists that have a similar sound to me and see how they interact with the crowd. So I was actually looking at Isaiah Rashad's show. He just went on tour recently, the Little Sunny tour, and so he had Childish Major open up for him. And I was before I had to leave, I was going through the entire show trying to get ideas of how to interact with the crowd. You feel me? And Childish Major actually had a good, he had a really good call and response. He had really good crowd interaction. He like breathed. Yeah, he just simply breathed with the crowd, and it worked out. You feel me? And they got the crowd involved. By the end of the show, it was cool. I didn't finish. I still actually, after this, I'm gonna finish the video and see how Isaiah Rashad did it. You feel me? But I steadily watch videos and try to get tips. Dom Kennedy is somebody I try to study because his music is so laid back. He don't really got too much hype shit, but he still manages to give a good show. You feel me? So that's somebody I always try to keep an eye on. And I'm trying to think, is there anybody else I study? Oh, J. Cole especially, because J. Cole has a lot of chill music. Don't really got too many hype songs. You feel me? But the few songs that he does have that are hyped up, he manages to get the crowd involved to it. And what I've noticed about Cole is that he's really honest during the shows. Like, he'll talk about himself. I know at the Rolling Loud New York, he said, "Hey, I'm agree with you. There's a lot of cap in the song, a whole lot of cap, but it's a good song." With it, you feel me? So I always try to get game from other artists, and see what I could add to my own.
See, that's how I know you're really serious about your music, is because you are studying. I think there's a lot more rappers out there that, like I was, who didn't do the work or do the extra grind. I'm thinking that's good enough, when in all honesty, you're just gonna be treading water.
Nah, real talk.
All right, man. Just a heads up, we got about 10 minutes left in the podcast. We got through one spin. We're gonna do another one.
30 minutes, bro. Fuck it, let's go. I'm good.
But just want to thank you again for stopping by. Hope you're having fun. It's been great on my end, man.
Yeah, I love it, man. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Here we go. We got number 10 this time, it looks like. Yep. Number 10 for you is, what have you had enough of?
Damn. What have I had enough of? The same food. Honestly, nah. I say, let me think about it. What have I had enough of?
Take your time.
I think, I'm actually like 50% serious about the food, too. Like, oh my. Let me see. I think dumb shit, bro. Just sum it up, dumb shit. You feel me?
But what's the last thing you've seen that made you think, oh, this is some dumb shit right here?
I seen somebody get pushed onto rail train track.
The one in New York?
No, so it's crazy. So I heard about that one today, right?
Okay.
But it was another incident that happened. But fortunately, this person they managed to live because the train operator managed to stop in time.
Oh shit! Yeah.
But I guess instead of dumb shit, I'm gonna just say like senseless shit. Like, hey, I'm just tired of hate. You feel me? It's like, what's the point? You feel me? It's like you got strangers and hate on strangers for no reason. Like other people don't even know for no reason. Like what the hell made you want to push somebody onto the train tracks? You feel me? Like it just don't make any sense, you know. And it's tiring because you see it on the news, you see it on your phones, right? And because of social media, you see like 4,000 or 5,000 people post about it every single day, you know, and it just fucked with you. And so I would say that's actually really something I'm tired of, you know, because in my head it's like there's no reason why anybody should be hating on another individual, or why somebody should hate him to the point that they want to kill him. You feel me? It's like it's stupid. I honestly don't get it. You feel me? But
yeah,
maybe they got mental issues. You know, I don't know what they're going through personally. I did hear that the suspect from the Michelle Go case did have mental issues, right? I don't know about the case in Belgium, but it just don't make any sense, man. It's just stupid. You feel me? It's like, first of all, you taking somebody's loved one away from them, right? And then on top of that, you're gonna throw yourself inside of jail. Like you're getting yourself inside of jail, and now your life is a waste. It's just stupid. You feel me? But on a brighter note, I am really tired of the same food, though. I'm gonna really be honest, especially Mexican food, because I eat that shit all the time. But I love it.
I got you.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how I really feel, though. You know, like.
Do you think there's ever a chance for us to get on the same page, like to that point where we really at peace, or nah?
Nah, I'm gonna be real with you. Nah, I think we could try to fight for it as much as we want, but it's just not. It's I think the damage is already done. You feel me? Like it's I said people, or you know, I think people come into this world good, right? But they're influenced by the people around them, right? And it's just a cycle. You know, I'll put it like this. We come from the Bay Area. Let's look at racism, right? We come from the Bay Area, very diverse place. You know, I got friends of all ethnic backgrounds. I'm sure you got friends of all different ethnic backgrounds, right? Because of that, we're a lot more aware. We're a lot more aware of other cultures, and you know, very sensitive of how to move around. You know, how to move around each other. You feel me? And make sure everybody's comfortable, right?
Yeah.
If you go somewhere in fucking, I don't know, rural Georgia, you feel me, where there's no type of diversity, right? And everybody there has been taught one thing, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of how much you try to talk to, regardless of how much me and you try to talk to them about our view of the world, they've been taught so much. They've been taught the wrong views by so many people for so long that they actually think their views of the world is correct, and they're not going to want to change it, right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, they're just going to be set in their ways, and so it's always going to be that divide, right? That's how I look at it. And I was just telling my girl the other day, because yesterday we went out to dinner, and I got dreads now, and the this woman kept looking at me. You feel me? Like she hadn't seen dreads before. And my girl was like, so my girl looked at her back, like, what the fuck you looking at? You feel me? And she was, and I was like, stop, like, don't trip. No, it's good. And I said, I'm honestly used to getting weird looks. You feel me? As a black man, I'm just used to getting weird looks. But like, you just get used to, you get used to how things are. You get used to you get used to microaggressions from people, you know. I used to feel some type of way when I would walk down the street and I would see like a woman clutch her purse or something like that. I don't even feel no way anymore. You feel me? I just laugh about it. I'm like, damn, like that's really cold. You feel me? Because the same person that you fear because of their race could be the same exact person that saved your life, you know, in a serious situation, you know. But I've just gotten so used to the way the world works. To me, it is what it is. You just find a way to navigate through it and do what the hell you got to do. And just live life. That's how I look at it.
I got you, man. I got you. You actually had me think about when you mentioned you know, like these rural areas that you know maybe haven't been exposed to as much diversity as we have in the city. For me, I almost think that, like, is it gonna take folks like me to move out into those rural areas just so they can be exposed to other cultures, and maybe I have to kind of like go through the shit that they want to throw at me just so the next generation can like feel more at ease? Because it almost makes me think, if cities were never diverse, would we have been able to be as understanding or be as cultural as we are now in this generation? Maybe, you know, and I'm sure we know that it wasn't always like this, but it took a lot of time, took a lot of generations for us, for the kids that grew up into it like we were, that now we're cool, you know. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I feel you though. It's a tough task. I don't think it's gonna be something that we can just like change on a dime.
Nah, it's not overnight, but you know what's crazy? There's actually a true story. This black man converting some KKK members into, like, I don't know how he did it, but he changed a few hearts of KKK members. You feel me? They end up like being best friends, and it's really crazy to see. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be pretty damn hard to do that to an entire population of people, or to an entire population of people that has that, you know, that have that mindset.
Yeah. I think I don't know, this is something we could definitely talk about more another time. I'm sorry, gotta press on with the closeout questions and the final stretch, man. We made it. And so this next part, before we jump into the final questions, is called the 34th mantra. I have these 3 phrases for you. They're fill in the blank. I am, I can, I will. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna flip over to the next screen. It's gonna feel a little weird. It's gonna be your reflection, because you're gonna be talking to yourself right here. And it's I am, I can, I will. All right. Here we go.
I am, I can, I will. Okay.
Yeah. So how would you fill that in for yourself?
I am great. Also, I am, I can't. I'm great. I can do anything, and I will overcome any obstacle that comes my way.
Sure, man. That's just a little reminder for yourself. You know, if you ever need to hear those words again, you got a little clip of yourself, you know, speaking to you.
What's up?
All right, man. Here we go. In my closeout questions, the first one is from my previous guest. So I just want to shout out to Jennifer for her question. And her question for you is, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I'm 26 now. 36. I see myself having a good amount of success, or success within the music industry. And being able to be the top artist, not only for my city, but within the world. And outside of music, being an entrepreneur. And being a mogul, and being somebody that people look to for business advice, and just look to as a blueprint for success. That's where I see myself in 10 years. And also having a couple of kids too. You feel me? Probably have a couple of kids and show them the ropes.
For sure, man. For sure.
So.
Got you. Second question is, what would you like to ask the next guest that comes on to 34 Questions?
What's been the hardest obstacle that you've had to overcome in your journey? What's been the hardest obstacle you had to overcome in your journey up until this point?
Got you. I'm just writing it down.
Yeah.
Right. And my very last question for you, the question that ties everything together. 100 years from now, 200 years from now, your descendants are watching this video. What would you like to tell them?
Man. What would I like to tell my descendants? I would like to tell them to keep, I'm gonna do a perspective of a kid or a teenager seeing this, but tell them to keep going and never let anything hold you back from doing what you want to do. And never compare yourself, because things happen for a reason. And just believe in your path and believe in your journey. And also keep in mind, faith is believing in things that you can't see. You feel me? So always keep that in the back of your head, and never discourage yourself from chasing a dream because of fear. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, man. I feel that. Any last things you'd like to add before we head out of here?
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. I love this platform, bro. This question, but that last question, I didn't think it would be hard. But
yeah. I mean, there's so much going on. Like, what impression are you gonna give? 200 years from now, your descendants. Sometimes it goes through people's heads. I get it though.
I'm talking, man. Thank you for having me. And just be on the lookout for new music coming soon. Within like the next 2 or 3 months, be on the lookout for a big announcement within like the next week.
Where can people find your music? How can we link up?
Find me on all streaming platforms. Just type in Ozer, Ozer. If you want to follow me on social media, it's Ozer SF. The SF is only because I'm from San Francisco. That is not part of my artist name, but at OZR SF, follow me. My website is OzerSF.com. Tap in.
Want to thank you again, man, for stopping by. I thought this was a great conversation. Hopefully, maybe a year from now, next step in your journey, we could do another one, just so you'll have this like a collection of yourself growing up, and you can show that to your loved ones as well. But yeah, I want to thank all the folks out there. If you're tuning in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, appreciate y'all time as well. Remember to reach out, reach forward. As always, much love, and we'll catch you guys next time on 34 Questions. Peace. Then it fades out from there. But that was pretty much it, man.